This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
We are here inspiring a better you. That's right, life coaching with Michelle Gazaway, joining us live again today to talk more about the work she does and again, walking women through the journey of aligning their goals with their faith, along with biblical principles, helping you overcome challenges in life and really making you a better person inside and out. How are you today, darling?
I am wonderful, Jill. How are you?
I'm great. Getting better. I feel like, with spring upon us, I don't know, that weather sometimes kicks in. It makes you feel a little better than the cold and the snow that we had. And I know you experienced some of that as well. You're in Georgia, right?
I'm in Georgia, yes. So we are getting some warmer weather this week. I think I try to track it. I think we've got maybe 2 more cold snaps, and then we should have more warmer weather, sunshine, and my flip-flops, because I was made for flip-flops, not this cold weather.
Uh-huh. I hear you. I hear you.
I don't know how you all do it up north, because I could not handle it.
I know. It's rough, but we're almost over it. It's okay. It's okay. So for those who may not know a little bit about yourself and services, would you mind sharing?
Well, again, I am Michelle Gazaway with Inspiring a Better You Life Coaching. And as Jill said, I help to align your goals with your faith and use biblical principles to help you overcome challenges. My passion is working with women on helping to walk in that identity and to overcome the pressures that the world puts on us to be something other than who God calls us to be.
Mm-hmm. God bless.
Yes.
So how did you want to, go ahead.
No, this week, I've really been looking at those subscription plans that I have and kind of revamping them to focus more on the busy woman. Because
we do it all.
In this world today, the current world, Jill, we have so many roles that we carry. If we think about just inside the household.
Oh, yeah.
Just inside our household, we are the housekeeper. We are the cook. Mm-hmm. We are the caregiver. We are the personal shopper and assistant.
Yeah.
We are the taxi cab driver. We are the nurse when anyone gets sick.
Yeah.
And it's up to us to make sure that everyone in the household gets to where they need to be. They know what the schedule is, and the household runs smoothly. Mm-hmm. Then, for a lot of women in today's world, single or married, we are the ones that are in charge of paying all the bills and doing all the budgeting. Whether we are the sole breadwinners or not, we're the ones that are taking on that task of making sure everything gets paid when it's supposed to and keeping up with the finances. Mm-hmm. And that's just talking about inside the household. That's not talking about any extracurricular activities,
Yep.
Working outside of the home.
Wow, I never looked at it like this, but we sure do have a lot of responsibilities. Darn
and
right.
Then
some men too, but for general speaking, let's just say it's mostly women. It really is.
And I'm not minimizing the responsibilities that men have, because men have their own struggles, their own things.
Yeah.
But my focus is on women.
Yeah.
That's where my focus is. That's the people that I am wanting to help, because that's who I can relate to. I'm a woman.
Absolutely.
I've never walked that journey as a man. So it's not going to be as easy for me to help them.
Yeah.
I've walked it as a woman. But how many times when someone asks you who you are, does your mind go to one of those roles
Mm-hmm.
that I just mentioned?
Yeah.
Because we identify ourselves with the things that we do. And depending on the current role we're operating in, we allow others around us
Mm-hmm.
to set expectations for us.
Yeah.
And it can get heavy. And we get burnt out. And we get overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
And we can find ourselves in a place where we're going through the motions day in and day out. We're just going through the motions. We know what we've got to do, and we do it.
Mm-hmm.
And we go through those motions. Okay, here's what I got to do now. It's 10:11. Here's what's on the agenda for this time.
Mm-hmm.
And we do it. But we are not doing it wholeheartedly.
Mm-hmm.
We're not doing it full of joy, stepping in, showing up, knowing who we are. And so I am working on a revamped plan for women who are in that place
Mm-hmm.
and working with short plans for them weekly that's going to set a
Mm-hmm.
reasonable goals that they can do to where they can rediscover who they truly are,
Yeah.
who God says they are, and they can start showing up again
Mm-hmm.
as who they really are. And when someone asks them who they are, they have an answer outside of these roles.
Hmm.
They know who they are, and they show up energized and ready to show the world,
Mm-hmm.
proud to be that person because it's who God uniquely designed them to be.
Yeah.
And so that's really where my focus has been a lot this past week, is digging into that and the journey, because there's so many different aspects that go into that. It's like an onion. You have to peel off each layer.
All the layers. Yep. Slowly but surely. Oh, yeah.
You peel those layers back
Mm-hmm.
to get to the core and the truth that's going to bring that rejuvenation and that joy back
Mm-hmm.
to where you're going to get up ready for your day and ready to go out. And you're going to show up in these roles and be able to complete them with excellence. Not because it's what the world expects of you, but it's because who you are
Mm-hmm.
and what you do. And it brings an excitement in my spirit just talking about it. So
Yeah. I feel it. I see it. I'm embracing it. And I hope it's inspiring others too to feel this way. But it's true. Thank you. Thank you. A lot of people, though, you're right, we get burnt out. There's a lot of responsibilities on our plate. And then how does working with the coach, how do you help inspire someone to really get thinking and start, doing for themselves, shall I say, right? Start living for themselves, maybe even. Yeah.
well, one of the key things, and this is something that I work with many women that I work with this is something that comes up. Boundaries. Boundaries without guilt. Because somewhere along the way, and I see this a lot in the Christian community, as well as others, but
Yeah.
we decided that saying no is not Christ-like. Or it's not friendly. They're not going to like me if I say no.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm going to let them down if I say no.
Mm-hmm.
And so boundaries is a big piece of that. And so, but the first step to that is we have to understand what boundaries truly are.
Yeah.
So that's what I want to kind of dig into just a little bit today, is what those boundaries really are and what they are not.
All right. Great.
Because there is some confusion around what they are and what they are not.
Mm-hmm.
And they're misused at times. And so I want to really talk about that and clear up some of that confusion. So boundaries are the limits and rules that an individual sets for their relationships with others to protect their emotional, physical, and psychological well-being. There are personal standards that define what behaviors are acceptable, helping ensure respect and prevent stress. And here's the big one that we just talked about: burnout. Common types of boundaries are physical, emotional, and time-based.
Yeah.
So here are the key aspects of boundaries.
No.
Boundaries protect your time, energy, feelings, and personal space from being overextended or disrespected. They provide clear guidance for how you want to be treated and can help reduce conflict and confusion. Setting boundaries is an act of self-respect and self-care, helping prevent burnout, resentment, and anxiety. I want to stop there for just a minute.
Sure.
That saying no thing, how many times do we agree to something and then in turn we resent the person that we're doing whatever it is with or for because we didn't set that boundary and said yes.
Yeah.
But if we said no in the first place and set that boundary, we could have protected that space. Boundaries can be physical, emotional, verbal, time-based, or related to your responsibilities or possessions. They're not always rigid, and they can be flexible and adapted to different relationships, situations, or life stages. Effective boundaries include clear communication about what will happen if a boundary is crossed, whether it's ending a conversation or taking another action. This part right here is where when people start working on boundaries, there sometimes is a little bit of a breakdown because they still want to be flexible with the consequence. When you start putting those boundaries in place for them to be effective, you have to stand firm on what that consequence is. You can't only enforce it some of the time. You have to enforce it all of the time. Now, as I said before, I wanted to talk about what boundaries are not as well. and clear up some of the confusion on that.
No.
Boundaries are not a threat or an ultimatum. They are not an attempt to control another person's behavior. Instead of demanding that someone else change, a boundary is a rule or a limit you set for your own actions to protect yourself. Okay? So some examples of what a boundary is not. It's not a threat, such as if you don't stop doing this, then I'm leaving, because that's designed to control someone else's behavior, and we don't want to do that. It is not control or punishment. So you're not setting it to control, punish, or force someone to change for you. It's to protect yourself. Giving someone the silent treatment is emotional disconnect, not a healthy boundary. Another big one that I see, taking the responsibility or blame for someone else's actions or mistakes is not a boundary. A boundary is not a command, but is a statement of what you will do. Such as, excuse me, please don't call me is a request.
No.
I will not pick up when you call is the boundary. It's important to remember, though, that boundaries are not walls to keep people out. We've always heard about these walls we build around ourselves for self-protection. That's not what boundaries are about.
No.
And if we've got those walls, they've got to come down. We can't live within the confines of these walls that we build to keep people out because we're afraid of being hurt. But boundaries are gates to protect what God entrusts to us. Healthy boundaries allow love in and keep harm out. They reflect stewardship of our emotional, spiritual, physical, and relational well-being. Healthy boundaries create peace, clarity, and freedom. Unhealthy boundaries create confusion, resentment, guilt, and burnout.
Are you frozen or waiting for you to speak?
No,
I never know if we're frozen or like you're just on a hiatus. Good.
I
No,
like to pause to see
I'm like,
sometimes to give you a
no,
chance.
sometimes I interject. Sometimes I'm like waiting for the next thing. No, oh my gosh. I'm like, now I forgot what I was even going to say. Anyway, but this is moving. This is powerful. This is the stuff that we women need to hear, need to focus on, need to work on. I'm so sorry. So go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. I do want to share a scripture with you today. Proverbs 4:23 says, "Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it." And I have for people who specifically struggle with boundaries, I do have more detailed plans that go into how biblical boundaries or how boundaries are biblical, and goes into detail about the scriptures and everything where, boundaries are represented in the Bible to where it can debunk that myth that boundaries are not biblical. I want to say that again for anyone who may be out there listening and feel like they are not biblical. boundaries are biblical, and there is scriptural proof throughout the Bible
Mm-hmm.
showing those boundaries in the Bible. And so I have those plans that work through that. But then, in a lot of the work I do, in some way, it always seems to creep in there, those boundaries.
Yeah.
And working with women, it's hard
Yeah.
because it's like we have been programmed for so long to feel like there's this expectation that we have to meet within our home, within the workplace, within this world, that does not allow us to have certain boundaries.
Mm.
And as a Christian woman who has struggled through some of those things, I want to help to free women from that mindset in thinking that they have to continue to
Mm-hmm.
live up to all these expectations put on them by an external force where they shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Because that's what keeps us stuck in this continual cycle of burnout,
Yeah.
staying overwhelmed, and not being able to live life to the fullest and enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm. I know. We really need to and start living our life fully. Thank you for inspiring us. We still have more time.
You're
But
welcome.
yeah, it's what is the hardest challenge you think though to tell to someone to start? Is the hardest challenge starting the change, you know? Once you get on a path, I mean I'm assuming it gets better, right? But to start those first few days, weeks, it's gotta be hard.
It is hard. Starting
Mm-hmm.
it is hard. And also, a lot of times when I begin working with women,
Yeah.
they have years and years
Yeah.
of living in this thinking pattern
Mm-hmm.
that has to be broken down,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
laying that down when you have thought this way for so many years and lived your life according to that thought pattern for the majority of your life. Because for most of us, it starts, for some, as
Yeah.
children, others, in our teen to young adult years is when this thought pattern starts. And so if you are coming to me in your 30s or 40s or even older, you have years of thinking this way because we have this expectation that we have to work harder already,
Mm-hmm.
especially when it comes to the workforce.
Yep.
But then we also have
Mm-hmm.
to make sure everything is taken care of at home
Yeah.
because you're a woman and that's your responsibility and that's what you have to do. And while some of these things may be true, and yes, we have responsibilities and things that we have to do, we have to find that place where we learn where we can say no, where
Mm-hmm.
we can set those boundaries, and learn that when we rest, it's not lazy.
Mm-hmm.
And when we take time for ourselves,
Yep.
it's not selfish.
No.
And that can take a long time for some people because if you have been taught all your life that resting is lazy, then one session with me is not going to destroy that.
Yeah.
It's going to be a repetitive getting into the word, learning what the word says, grasping onto that, and really rewiring our thought patterns to line up with
Yeah.
that thinking. And so you have to commit, even after the sessions with me, the time in between. I always give a practical assignment for the women I work with to do throughout the time that we're not having our meetings. Because, let's
Yeah.
be real here.
Of
You meet with
course.
me, whether it's, weekly, twice
Yeah.
a month, once a month, whatever the scheduling may
Perfect.
be. And then you don't do anything with the things that we talk about, then it's not going to turn out to be very beneficial.
Yeah.
And so I like to give, a practical assignment.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, if I give you something that's like huge detail and is going to take a huge amount of time, if you're already overwhelmed and burnt out, you're not going to do it.
No, absolutely.
So I make sure that it is a practical assignment that's going to fit in to your schedule and your lifestyle.
Perfect.
And
Well,
you consistently do that. But I'm going to need usually at least a month to 2 months of you consistently doing the work outside of our sessions before you're going to start to see some of those thought patterns start to change.
Got it. Well, thank you so much. Unfortunately, we are out of time. How can we contact you?
I am Inspiring a Better You Life Coaching on Facebook. I have a website, inspiringabetteryou.com, or you can reach me via telephone, 706-280-6895.
Perfect. Thank you again for being here, for inspiring, and looking forward to next time we speak, sweetheart. Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much. And
You too,
really,
Jen.
guys, reach out. It feels good to want to change, to know it's there. I could taste it. That spring is here. Let's make our lives the best. Thank you. Bye.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.